It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Everybody here okay?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, good.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
All
there
right.
you go. Now I can.
I hear lots of raindrops.
We do hear lots of raindrops.
I should have waited.
Actually, that's a mixed kind of thing. I was thinking it's like...
I thought I should have waited because Milton would say, "Oh, the weather is so beautiful out here."
Well,
There's
you
some
were
clouds
saying,
in the air.
You were saying the weather was beautiful.
I love it.
So you're enjoying the rain. The rain sort of is a double-edged sword with today with the flooding and
flooding. We want to extend our thoughts and prayers to everyone in Kirk County. This is a devastating flood.
Okay, no, it is. I mean, 27 lives so far.
Yes,
I'm sure we'll get more.
25 feet in 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was looking at it live time. Well, not it was a couple hours later. I was up at 5, and they're already talking about it. And 45 to 60 minutes. That's when it rose.
Wow, I presume that's fast. It seems fast.
That's extremely fast.
That is.
And it happened at 3:30 in the morning.
Was it 3:30? I don't know why I thought it was 7. Maybe it ended at 7.
No.
Okay.
So
people really weren't prepared.
They were not prepared at all.
23 people are still missing.
Yeah.
And the officials still they had no way of knowing.
Yeah.
It came as a complete shock to everyone.
Oh gosh, yeah. And then we had been up in Kerrville the day before, and it was like,
you told me that.
Wow, yeah. Hey, by the way, National Weather Service has issued a flood watch. I'm reading this off the weather.gov site for Llano, Burnett, Williamson, Kerr, Bandera. Just you can check and see, but including Giddings, Lockhart, San Antonio. Is San Antonio in there? Yep. Yeah. Burnett, New Braunfels, Fredericksburg, San Marcos, Seguin, Austin. So, yep. Be careful out there.
The front, or actually it's a center of low pressure that's just hanging around, and that's what caused all this. But it has moved slightly to the east towards I-35. Hence all those new watches, new cities in the watch.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we are prone to these flash floods.
Oh, yeah.
What does it say? Flash floods. With our narrow soil or shallow soil and narrow ridges and valleys. And
Bert from Chalmette can probably call us and tell us about flooding situations in Louisiana. 210-308-8867.
Isn't that a regular basis?
It's amazing.
Do you think Bert remembers the 21 flood, the 1921?
I don't think Bert's that old.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Now, Bert's going to come after you. But, anywho, speaking of Bert, I took all Bert's suggestions. I like Bert's suggestions. It just takes more time than y'all's suggestions. But on the tomato seeds, and so all of mine were on the bottom of the glass, and I drained them, and I took a few out and planted them in pots, and and then the rest of them I put on a brown paper bag to dry, and then I put them in a paper bag after they dried. So I got a bunch of tomato seeds. I guess that's not quite what you discussed on your dropped video.
You need to plant them.
Oh, okay. Don't try to save them?
Oh, yeah, if you're going to save some. I thought you were going to try to plant some this fall.
Yeah, I am. I got 2 planted so far. I'll plant some more.
Oh, good.
Okay. So you just have to dry them out and then plant them.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's what I did.
How about how is your begonia whoppers doing?
Well, I got to check. They still have foliage on them.
Oh, but the leaves that you set for trying to vegetatively reproduce them, are they still looking?
They look okay in the pot, in the container.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. Because you've done it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. How do I
Yeah.
check? Do I look for new growth? That's an indication I have roots, or what am I looking for?
Yeah.
What is
well,
my
yes.
word to you, son? What is my word to you? Patience.
Water, water, water.
No. The
No.
other one. Patience.
Mo, mo, mo.
No, the other one.
Yeah, you don't want
Patience, patience, patience. Everything in
you
threes.
don't want to water too much there because you don't want it soggy. But that's a good sign that you got 2 weeks and your foliage
Yeah.
still looks good.
But no, how do I know when to put them into bigger
Well-
pots, or that I have
Well,
roots?
that'll take
tell
them a
me?
while to put
Okay.
out some foliage.
Okay,
So you don't want to look now and damage those new roots, those baby roots.
gotcha. Oh, good. Okay,
That's what I'm referring to.
okay, I'm fine with it.
referring to.
I'm happy they're doing what they're doing. So this is cool. You want to talk about what I was talking about on your video? You talked about native seeds. I saw
Native
you
seeds.
in. I forgot his name.
So,
What's his name? You were at the garden center.
Craig. But
Craig?
I can't remember his last name.
Oh.
Sorry, Craig.
Oh,
He is
poor Craig.
he is the committee chairman
Mm-hmm.
for the Native Plant Society of Texas that handles all these native plants, and you can send them to him. Go to the Native Plant Society.
You sent him the seeds.
Send them the seeds. I'm sorry. .org, nipsot.org. They have a great name. Nipsot, Native Plant Society of Texas.
Okay, NPSOT.
OT.
Okay.
.org.
If you call Al, he'll tell you what it is.
And then you talk to them and you say, I have these seeds, and they say, here's how to collect them, just like we've been telling you on tomato seeds.
Right.
The process is.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll send them, and then they'll sort them and clean them, and then send them out to all the participating library people. It's not only libraries, but they store them and put them in like card catalogs, if you will, old-fashioned card catalogs. And you can go and pick some seeds and then donate some seeds. So it's like the libraries, the little libraries. So you donate some seed and pick up some seed.
Oh, where are the is there one in here in San Antonio? I'm guessing.
I want to say the one on the northeast side with the strange, northwest side with a strange name.
Okay, well, yeah.
And then also Mission Library.
But these are regular libraries.
Mm-hmm. They have
Oh.
agreements with NIPSOT.
Okay, I'll look on Nips up and see. But that was cool. And what did y'all talk about? Alamo vine?
Yes, I have some Alamo vine for you.
Oh, thank you.
It is a native
It's pretty.
vine which has a I'd say moderate large flower with a pretty colored throat on it, and it's a kind of a maroon color.
Okay, yeah. The throat.
Mm-hmm.
It's white with a maroon.
Throat. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It looked very pretty. And
And it's blooming right now, so if you
Okay.
go through native areas or alongside the road, you'll be able to see these vines alongside. So they're very drought tolerant, they're freeze tolerant, pest tolerant, lots of things. So probably should be used more, but they're not big and showy. That's their problem. They're more refined and sedate.
okay. What else did you do? There's another plant, but I'm trying to remember what you talked about.
We talked about a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Different types of plants, different sizes, different styles of seeds. So some very, very small, some much larger. Talked about mountain laurel, of course. And bluebonnets, and some of the grass seeds, which are very tiny.
Did you get a chance to talk about sunflower seeds at all?
I do not believe so, but
Are they considered native?
we had a question from the audience during
Yes,
the
we
week.
did.
Yeah,
I hope y'all don't get too annoyed with all my questions.
No, we don't. We
No,
just
but
roll
they're-
our
they're-
eyes and answer it.
That's a real interesting plant too, and the seeds are an important part. And you can. The reason I'm bringing that up because I got a question about it.
Oh, okay.
And then it's an important pollinator, and also the seeds are a favorite of course, the lesser goldfinches and cardinals.
You know.
But those bordered patch butterflies will lay their eggs on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, what do you think the one big issue about it is, though, Milton?
Well, was it Milton's question?
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course, it can take over your whole landscape, too.
Oh, the sunflowers can?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
the onions.
even the
Yeah.
big ones?
Yeah.
No, not the big ones.
Okay.
No, these are the moderate size.
I've
ones.
seen
Yeah, like
neighbors
that
who have had to
Mitchell
take
Lake.
over their.
Or here's one. I drive to work during the day, during the week, 3 days a week, and all along the railroad tracks on Wetmore Road, it's completely covered with sunflowers.
Yeah.
One of the in the article, the question and answer article that I wrote today, they asked about the seed. Well, of course, generally there's seed packets at most nurseries for the annuals, and then you can also just, if you got a neighbor, you can collect some of the seeds, just the flower heads, and you just toss those in.
But when do you
open
do?
areas?
Well, hang on. I'll ask you my
Right
question.
now, if you
I
want.
know. I think.
Really? You think for
Right.
my big-headed?
Oh, there. I don't know that they're going to germinate now.
Oh, well,
They're,
no.
they're a little fussy about their germination period.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I'll
So answer your question. That's a lovely segue.
well, wait. I got to get to James real quick.
Okay.
We'll go back to my segue in a second. James is on the line at 210-308-8867. James, what's going on? You staying dry?
There's about 3 inches of water on the front yard, and it goes for as far as I can see. It's wet, man.
What's the name of your lake then? Did you create a name for it now?
It'll, you know which way them fields drain when you get rains like this, Doctor. You know where they're draining, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, they're draining into Cibolo.
Oh.
Well, this would be kind of a fun time and an interesting time if it wasn't for those drownings.
Yeah,
Even in
the
San
destruction.
Antonio, when we lost those 13 people, now we're talking 27 plus in the Kerrville area.
So, yes, the rain would be a delight except for that.
Yeah.
And we might, if this kept up, of course, we would might address the drought, the Edwards Aquifer levels too.
Well, what's going on, James? You had a question about cover crops?
Yeah, but I just wanted to say, when I was up in Kansas, they'd blow a siren when the tornado was coming, is all I got to say.
Well, no, I agree with you, James. That's the one thing I missed from my home in Michigan is I don't hear the sirens down here, and I don't know what it is. That's all.
Well, people were complaining in the Kerrville area about lack of warning.
Lack of warning.
The city staff is busy preparing for the 4th of July events, and instead they got the flood.
All righty. Well, let's focus on your cover crop question, James.
Okay, I just cut a 37-pound watermelon. It's tender, sweet orange. They get pretty good size. Bricked out at 11 on the bricks. That was sweet enough. And you're going to be pulling all the vines off of those 2 rows here pretty soon. When is it time to plant those Austrian peas, and how close do they need to be planted in rows on the cover crop top?
What are they? Which ones?
So it's
Southern peas they plant.
Yeah, it's a legume, and it's a cover crop for increasing natural nitrogen in the soil. I haven't had a lot of experience with that. I grew up with clover, alfalfa too, but clover and vetch. So on these peas, I would imagine that's more of a early fall, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, you plant them in October-ish, November. But
Okay. I was even thinking late September. I was even going to do that, but it may be too hot for them that time of year.
well, how tall do they get?
Well, again, I am pulling out of the memory banks some info, and I would say 24 inches.
Oh, then you don't have to plant them cover crop rows too close together.
No, because you never. Well, I'm going back and I'm thinking about all the cover crops that I knew and learned in school, and they weren't more than 12 to 24 inches, somewhere in there.
Okay, well, when it comes time to cover that crop up and get ready for watermelons or whatever,
No.
I can weed eat those 200-foot rows down and cover them up with some plastic. That's what we put down.
Okay.
And then set the transplants through it, and that'll kill that crop, right?
Right. Well, traditionally, they're just going to plow them under as green manure. And
Yeah, we don't want to be plowing them beds. No, they're raised beds.
Okay, well, all right. Then I'd still say if you wanted to put clear plastic on them, kill them, and then take the plastic off and put the melons in. That's probably what I would do. But
Okay,
you may
we'll
have
leave the
nothing.
plastic down and then burn a hole with a torch. And then
You can do that. You can do that. I just like to have the soil open to the air and rain.
But
So
see, that's the thing. They're covered through the whole growing season with the plastic. And then you can pull the plastic off, plant the cover crop, and do like you say, open them up to the atmosphere. And then go back next spring and cover them up with plastic again.
well, it sounds like you had great success using that method. So
Well, I
If
haven't
you've-
cover cropped it yet. It's just a plan. We
No,
did
with the-
watermelons this year, and they turned out pretty good.
yeah, as I was saying, that sounds pretty good with using the plastic. So I would just continue doing that. Cover it up once you're ready to do the watermelons again, and knock all those plants because they're a cool season plant. And then you can take care of them by solarizing those beds.
And you're the doctor. Do you know when they're going to flower? That's when I'd like to cut them, but it might be too late.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know this particular cover crop, how to grow this particular cover crop. But I would say, 4 to 6 weeks later. I'm sorry, 30 to 60 days, probably 45 to 60 days. That's the word. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
They're going to flower in about 60 days.
I'm guessing.
That's what I was
James.
guessing.
Okay.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Good
for
luck,
the-
James.
Confirm. Yeah. Thanks
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could be more exact, but that was a long time ago. I was back in the last millennia when I did work.
And he's pretty old, too. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, he may be talking about the 1800s.
Yeah, wow. Who knows? Yeah.
All right. Thank you, James. All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Dr. Calvin Finch, Mark Peterson. I'm Milton Glueck. We'll find out more about my sunflowers and when to cut them right after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Real quick, tell you some good advice, and that is if you're looking for great food, if you still got some grilling to do, or if you're just planning to do some coming up, we have Labor Day will be coming up and everything. I want you to remember that Pruski's Old Fashioned Meat Market is the place to go. At Pruski's, you will find the most delicious cuts of meat that you've had in a long, long time. And you'll find a butcher there who's behind the counter who can help you, like an old-fashioned butcher used to do. They can tell you the cuts to get. They can give you suggestions. They can show you, oh, you know what, you might try this one. What do you think? Or Okay, you say there's only 2 people in the family that you're feeding? Let me cut that in half for you. Yep, Pruski's will take care of you. Great sausage. Great. Let's see, we've got the sausage, the beef, the chicken. Whatever you're looking for, Pruski's can help you. And not only can you get it there, but you can get it sent to your house, or you can just get it sent anywhere in the U.S. If you're listening up in Michigan, Bert, and you're missing that Texas sausage or stuff.
No, I was going to say,
What?
Bert in Michigan.
Yeah, Bert, you can have some Pruski's sausage.
Yeah, Schnert. We need some sausage.
Oh,
some
okay.
Rookwurst on the pea soup.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Pea soup.
What was that? Oh, okay.
All right.
All right.
Just a reminder.
210-308-8867. Oh, the Pruski'sMeatMarket.com is the website. Go there and learn more about that. Pruski'sMeatMarket.com, and you will go ahead and they'll take care of you. And you'll find the phone numbers on there, all the different products. Maybe today isn't the best day. I guess it'll clear up. But, you may want to go tomorrow or during the week and just treat yourself to the things over there at Pruski's. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. So, yeah, Calvin was helpful over the break. He told me just wait till the sunflower turns completely brown, and then you can cut the head off and get the seeds.
Yeah, and then you're in a kind of a competition with the
birds.
Birds, yeah.
That's like almost anything.
They'll be testing the heads, and if you got lesser goldfinches, they'll be there first. And cardinals are pretty aggressive chasing sunflower seeds, and house finches.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a lot of them that it's amazing sometimes what the varieties. Another thing, Mark, that is really attracting the birds right now is the anaqua. They're in the berries.
Yes. The
Germans
the Germans in New Braunfels had a word for it, but I can't remember it. But,
Call us if you remember.
They eat so many of the berries off the anaqua, especially if they're all ripe, that they would literally get drunk and fall to the ground.
Because the berries are fermented?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. And the figs. I interrupted Calvin by saying, the figs are ready.
Yeah.
Oh.
The figs are ready?
Tell us your fig story.
Huh?
How's your figs doing?
Oh, they're doing very well. In fact, one of my neighbors made a pizza with figs.
Ooh, that sounds
figs
good.
over the top, and had one of the young kids, her granddaughter, was out there trying to chase the birds away so she could get more of the figs. But right when you're at this point, you just harvest and eat as many figs as you can, because the birds are going to be pretty bold and aggressive in going after them. And the good news is that the figs are very productive and easy to grow. Mm-hmm. So you usually get plenty when they're ripening.
Will you be picking any today or tomorrow morning?
No, I am kind of figged out.
Well, you have people you can share those figs with.
Uh-huh.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Now, I thought you were more interested in the wildflower that I got you rather than figs. You would rather have something to eat than to do the... You've already forgot all about your blue curl?
Oh, no, I haven't. But yeah. I got to get that puppy going. Oops. Sorry.
Just throw the seeds out in the corners, or
we want to make fig preserves.
Oh,
so we need like a pound of figs. Is that a lot of figs?
No.
Okay.
But you should get a fig tree.
Okay, but that'll take too long.
Yeah,
it'll take longer.
Well,
won't be
1 year.
1 year.
Okay. And I think the fig trees are on sale, aren't they? By the way,
yes, they are. Or they were last week.
Yeah, let me double check. Trace is running over in case.
I saw that I was trying to figure out what the difference between Texas
Yep, they sure
everbearing and the
25% off.
Right.
Texas-
Brown turkey. That's
yeah, but some identifiers put them. They're the same, or
Yeah.
they're
And I had a couple of gardeners tell me that there is a seasonal difference, but one is more cold tolerant and one is larger. And of course, I can't remember which is which.
well. My first guess would be Texas everbearing would be the one that has both spring and fall.
That would be my guess too.
But
That would be logic.
and but the amazing thing on the figs is that they can put up pretty much with drought, but if you can keep them watered, you'll get lots more yield. And of course, they can take over they're another plant that can take over your landscape.
Well, yes, that is a problem.
They'll fight the space, fight the inaqua for the space.
So they do require some pruning, annual pruning, but it's fairly easy. A rule of thumb is take out a third of the very tallest branches as it spreads out,
And if
or the farthest ones out. So you think about, if a branch is going horizontally a very long time, take that one out for a very long time, far distance, and the same thing from the top. If it's very vertical, you take that one out.
But if you've got a plant right now that is producing fruit, you hesitate to take any out. Another thing, Mark, I've seen a lot of the figs that still have damage from the freezes.
Oh, really?
Lots of dead stems. You can go ahead and take them off too. They kind of get in the way, and plant looks much better. And in the long run, it's better for the plant if you can cut those dead branches out, I think.
So, this is a dumb question. How do you take figs off without, destroying the fruit or getting all this white stuff all over your hands? That's not a problem for you?
No.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Let's see. I go grab them and throw them in my mouth and eat them.
Or do you twist them? Because we were trying to do that too. And we had all this white sticky stuff on our hands.
Actually, if they're very ripe, they come off.
They just
real
come off
easy.
Yeah, it should come off.
Do you know what I'm talking about with the white sticky?
No, I do not.
Really?
No.
It's sugar.
It's just.
Yeah.
It's or maybe some
it said
flies or something else in there.
It said online that there were two things, and Fig people can call us at 210-308-8867, but it said there were two things. One was a white powder. It said don't
powder?
That's what it said online. It said don't worry about that. That's fine. That's just sugar. And the other one it said was a white, sticky, milky substance. Said that can upset your stomach or lead to, bathroom problems,
Well, you should always wash your fruit. So.
Well, I just didn't know. I wanted to be able to pick them. Everyone we picked, we went and tried to pick some, and we didn't have too much.
So
you couldn't get it off your hands. It's all sticky.
What they used to do is also a short bamboo.
Was
stick,
what?
A short bamboo
and
stick.
Just hit them
until
they fall.
Okay. Well, it's a good place. You know what? We mentioned the inaqua and the different birds on there. On the figs, I see more woodpeckers.
Yeah.
And mockingbirds. A lot of mockingbirds.
Huh.
And cardinals again too. Cardinals are pretty wide open on their habits. Whatever's ripe and eating in terms of seed and fruit. Yeah.
All righty. Well, it surprises me that you don't know the white stuff.
Now the powdery could be. The powder could be powdery mildew.
Oh, the powder they said was the sugar, but the white stuff, the milky stuff was. Oh. Yeah, someone needs to call and defend me here because these guys have never picked figs and gotten white stuff on their hands. If you have gotten white milky stuff on your hands after picking figs,
but we have gotten this sticky sugar.
No,
almost everyone you pick is.
Yeah. Is it milky or is it dry?
No, it's
milky.
Oh, it is milky. Okay.
Yeah, not dry though.
Okay, that's what I was talking about. I was trying to pick it so I didn't get that all over my hands.
I get a little amber color too sometimes.
Oh, maybe. Okay. So, fig people, 210-308-8867.
I'm wondering how the fig crop was. Mine is good this year, but I haven't heard a lot of other reports on
Yeah,
figs.
let's get fig reports.
I thought it was going to be a couple weeks.
And it may
delayed.
be, with the freeze and everything, may depend on how sheltered the tree is that you had, whether it got its early crop. And it may be that it's not an everbearing. You may be one of those that's a little later. Well, most of them want to bloom and have their fruit in this time, but with the weather the way it's been, between drought and freezes, it's obviously unpredictable.
All right. So, I will bring over... I'll shake your hand with all that white sticky stuff on me, because then we probably won't be able to release hands, because that stuff was... I tried washing it. I had to wash it 3 or 4 times to get my hands not to be sticky.
But you did wash it, so none of the equipment is sticky.
None of the equipment is sticky. No,
Okay, good.
You mean I shouldn't lick my hands?
When?
After he gets
Eat
the
that sugar
figs.
on there. I mean,
So he doesn't
I get-
suck
not
his
a-
fingers.
not a-
obviously you're sacrificing some wonderful calories.
Not according to the internet, you shouldn't. It could cause you to be sick.
Oh.
But if you say your experience is different, Calvin, lick away. But 210-308-8860. But if you're eating them off the thing, you're eating that white stuff, so I don't get it.
But
Okay.
you can overdo it. It's easy because the figs are so tasty, and especially as they're getting riper and riper.
Oh, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, because
right.
the early ones are less sweet, but they get sweeter and more attractive in terms of taste.
Well, before everything was ripe, we saw that Trader Joe's had figs for sale, big old figs. And so we bought some, and Laura made her preserves, just like Parker's mom made hers, only Parker's mom, I think, uses sugar, and Laura uses honey. But, boy, they are good.
Who was it that brought us a great...
That was Parker's
That
mom.
was Parker's mom.
Or I think she may have used agave.
Oh,
syrup.
instead of the sugar.
Yeah, I don't know. Parker's mom,
Yeah.
call us.
Yep, 210-308-8867. All right.
Now, that was a different variety there.
Yeah, what was it? She told us what it was.
Because that was very early. That was
Yes.
May 31st.
And it was good, but it
Yeah.
was not overly sweet.
Yeah. Now, Milton, you and I liked them.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. The
That's
connoisseur
what we-
over here on the end that was
Yeah.
not as enamored with them as
Oh,
we were.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I ate it, though, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yes, you
no,
did.
we've never seen you
Yeah.
turn down food.
No, that's true.
It's been how many years? And
78 now.
I think 78 years, and you've never turned down food.
Not much, no.
All right. Well, let's do this. We'll take a break a little early. We'll come back and talk more gardening with you. In fact, theoretically, we may have good news for tomato lovers out there right after this on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Our phone number 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
I love the enthusiasm of the staff.
Yes, we want fig advice. We want to know, what was another question? Oh, we want fig reports.
Who is harvesting?
Yeah.
And which one are you harvesting?
Ooh, that's a good one. That'd be nice to know. So 210-308-8867, the number to call. We'll put you right through. And then we also, we can ask for tomato reports, but I think the tomatoes, for the spring tomatoes, are kind of gone. But you tell me whether I got this right? Theoretically, Milberger's will start getting New tomatoes for the fall this Wednesday.
That
is
is
what you heard, too?
I heard.
Okay. So my advice on that is to call 210-497-3760 and put your name on the wish list, and they'll call you if they come in.
And be ready.
Yeah.
Because this, we talk about this a lot, and they, when we have a complex gardening plan, even Mark and I sometimes and Milton get left behind. Like say, well, I'll wait till next weekend to get my favorite Thunderbird or something. And if you do that, especially in the fall planting on tomatoes, you're liable not to get access to, because they got to move fast.
Oh,
They got to get in the ground. They got to get growing so that they can beat the freeze, beat the cold weather.
Yeah.
No, we don't know which varieties we'll have.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We can only hope.
Yeah.
Hope we'll have Tycoon probably. We'll have Celebrity, and
those are two favorites.
HM 8148.
There you go. That's I was trying to remember
And
what the rodeo was.
I hope we have Thunderbird. And from there, who knows what we're going to have.
Okay.
And
and
Ruby
the
Crush.
Okay, that'd be good.
Yeah.
And then do you advise, because of this is a wonderful day and it's hard to talk about heat in terms of, like, today it just feels great, but July is here and I imagine it'll get hot again. So do I protect them? Do I pot them up in 1 gallons if I buy them in 4-inch pots? What do I do?
It's not, to my way of thinking, it's not as important you do that in the fall, but you can if you got a really hot spot. I know some gardeners have used a little shade even.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We have had that where they just put something so it kind of, they get the morning sun and then it's blocked from the
Yeah, it
afternoon
doesn't have
shade.
to be as elaborate as a shade cloth, but just a little something.
Yeah.
Like a piece of cardboard or a big box.
And part of that, if you make a pretty tight cloth on there, it may help you keep the spider mites at bay.
Oh.
But if the weather stays cool, of course this weather is perfect for resisting spider mites.
Okay. But it doesn't, they're still there, they're just not quite as active?
Yeah, their reproduction levels are much lower when the temperature stays below like 70 at night, and we get some rain, and this would be perfect if it continued into the winter. But at least my tomatoes got most of the varieties got blasted from the spider mites, and I think some of the other gardeners too.
Got blasted from the what?
Based on the reports.
From the spider mites?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then wasn't it you that went through the process of describing Trace's method for putting those infected plants in the garbage bag?
I think, and maybe Trace answered the question about what you do about the cage, but I don't remember that part. Yeah, basically you were putting a big garbage bag over the plant, pulling it down to the roots or pulling it down to the ground, cutting right there, and then just closing the bag and sealing it, and then throwing it away. That sound right?
Yeah.
That sounds what theoretically we were doing.
What?
Again, I forgot how he handled the cage.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, because it's not easy.
No.
With a garbage bag and
but he had an answer for
a
it.
sharp tomato cage can be pretty challenging.
And I still have tomatoes that are coming on.
Really?
I can't break it to my. I can't.
Whoa.
It hurts to take it down.
Yeah, that's one of the problems.
Traditionally, it's the 4th.
Oh, the 4th of July, the tomatoes come down. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've reported that finally I got one of the 968 plants started. They've all been blooming and looking good, but they starting to set fruit finally now. So,
yeah, that's cool.
So I'm going to let them go. I'm going to keep them. Basically I'm counting them as fall planting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fall
I think
planting
you could actually. Yeah.
And a seed source.
Yes,
correct?
we need
That's
the
right.
seeds.
Yeah.
Remember y'all laughed at me? You probably will laugh at me next week, though, when I tell you
Quite
this didn't
often
work.
we do.
I know. It's become a part of the show. People look forward to it. Remember I cut the tomato and put
Just a minute.
Go ahead, get ready to laugh.
Oh, go ahead.
I put the little cut tomato back in the soil, thinking that maybe it would. It's still hanging on.
Well,
So-
tomatoes are relatively easy to vegetatively reproduce. Tomatoes and roses and begonias.
Yeah, my begonias are still.
Yeah, both
I hope
Milton
I'm doing
and
all right.
I are, because of the lack of
Porter
begonia whoppers on the market, we've been trying to vegetatively reproduce them. And Milton has done a better procedure. He's kind of put them into, like in the house, and
Like a little greenhouse.
yeah. Whereas I just put some leaves into the farmer container, the containers that
Okay.
grew them in past.
Oh,
And so far, some of them are looking still like they're alive, and I'm hoping they'll put some roots out. But some of them have declined.
oh, yeah. Some of mine didn't make it either, but it's a fun experiment with them because some of them are doing good, and I can cut some more and try to do some more. I was going to
I'll
ask
trade you some figs for some
Oh.
rooted begonias.
Okay, well, it's going to take a while to root them. I think the figs will be gone by then. The birds will get them. There was something I was going to ask you along those lines, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, well, it'll come back to me.
I also saw,
Yes?
for the first time in a couple of
I
years,
know what it was.
I saw a young robin at the bird baths.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no parent birds there, and but this one was pretty aggressive, and he was getting picked on by the mockingbirds and everybody else.
I've heard tales of that and experienced it myself. I haven't seen a lot of robins.
Remember in the
past
old
few
days,
years.
we used to see them every spring.
Yeah, I mean, it was really. Oh, the robins are here. Look for all the other birds to be coming, except the cardinals are year round. But yeah, I haven't seen a lot of robins, so don't know what's happened to them.
That's another. If you've seen robins, these are the results of nesting robins, because it's pretty late for any migrating. But it's if there were some that were in the area, they could have been raising young. So if you see those young robins, they're pretty obvious. They're pretty bold, and they're trying to figure out how to get some water and get some food. So let us know.
Yeah. And the question I was going to ask you, I remembered it. Again, these are like reading about it on the internet or seeing someone talk about it, and it's like, I don't know. So what they suggest you do is, instead of just sticking the cutting in to the soil, I have another question for you too. That you actually take a stick and make the hole first, and then do it, and then push the soil around it, because you're somehow harming the sample.
Tissues.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, you're possibly hurting you're bruising the tissues you want to form the roots.
Okay, so you do recommend the stick and then the...
What about why wouldn't your finger work?
Oh, it could have, yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how the soil is, but yes, could.
But then again, some other plants, we prefer them to callus over.
Oh.
So maybe that's also part of it
Oh.
before we stick them into the ground.
Oh.
I really have not
Oh.
attempted to callus any of my begonias.
I know. It's just, and I forget. I forget now. Is this the one I wait till it's calloused over, or do I directly
I happen to
put it in the
look.
ground?
I look at. There's a number of those. One of the social network, the one that tells you here's how you do this, and every topic in the whole world of gardening is on there.
You'll have to tell us what that one is.
Yeah, I think it has a DIY type thing.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. So I have one more sunflower question real quick. This is kind of cool. So these were from seed. The one that came up first, lots of leaves, real tall, one seed head, one flower head at the top. You saw the picture of me in the thing. Nothing else. I didn't notice it. I just assumed, I haven't grown sunflowers before. I just assumed this was the way it was going to be. There's no other little sunflowers coming up, any of the joints, any of the things. And the other one, now it's coming out. I'll have to take a picture for you. But every one of the leaf joints, where the leaves come out from the stem, has sunflowers coming out on it.
Almost, well, that would be a description too of the annual or there's 7 or 8 different selections, varieties.
Okay.
Genuses.
So you think I had 2 varieties?
Species.
Yeah.
Of
Species
sunflower.
is a very big family.
Do you think I had 2 varieties or
I
2
think
species
so,
in the same
yeah.
pack?
Because if you got that even the seeded varieties and the garden varieties, there's got to be 50 different sunflower varieties there.
Okay.
But and they got big seeds. Those seeds are easier to deal with. The annual sunflowers are basically tiny little seeds, so that's why sometimes it's easier just to take the flowers off when they've dried out a bit and just cut them in fourths and just plant the whole.
Oh, okay. I see what
whole
you're saying.
flower, and also because they're loaded with blooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to cut. Okay, I'm just curious. It's kind of fun, like I said.
And I told you to get a big paper bag
Yep.
and put them in there and
then just
really
let it
shake
shake.
vigorously.
But the bag or myself?
Both.
Oh, shaking both? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, remember now you guys took note now that I did not recommend that anybody harvest any seeds from the Mitchell Lake Audubon Center like I did 10 years ago and really got hacked for it.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, well, they said, really not a threat on the sunflowers, but they didn't want everybody out there because there were a number of rarer species that they needed the seeds to all of them stay there. Well, and they're also interested in having their wildlife have plenty. They were right. I should not have brought that up because it's too hard to differentiate between which seeds can be harvested without interfering with the growing situation, and then how many and some that should just be left alone.
Do you remember, I was thinking about garden clubs as Calvin was talking about that, and maybe this could be a topic, but so what's coming up first? Is it the Men's Garden Club or is it GVST?
Men's Garden Club is always the first Thursday of each month.
So that's this Thursday.
Except for July.
Oh, really?
I don't know. There's no meeting, and as far as I know, there's no.
Or is it August? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, because it would have been last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Calvin's point is well taken. Is one of the summer months, July or August, they don't have one.
Just
now, considering that it would have been the day before 4th of July, I doubt that they had it in July.
Okay, that's just the Men's Garden Club.
That's the Men's Garden Club. So the Gardening Volunteers of South Texas, it's the third Monday of the month.
Okay.
And that's called Gardening Essentials.
Okay.
You don't know what the class is
I do
about.
not know what the topic is. That's why
I'll go look.
There was a delay.
They're usually pretty exciting, and they're great
There was
topics.
a delay in my response on that
I'll
because
look
I
up.
didn't know.
GardeningVolunteers.org, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you can see the
shortened
video.
it. Yeah, they shortened it. Oh, yeah, and you can see my video there.
Yep, you can.
I have 2 videos, actually.
Okay, Gardening Essentials coming up. And let's see if they tell me what the topics are. I only have a few more minutes before we get the news, so let's see. Community calendar, where? Okay. All right. That's just the community. Oh, man, come on. All right. Maybe somebody from GVST can call us. Let's see how we're doing on time. All right.
Is there anything on the Milberger's website that folks should check it out and see?
We've got check it out at millburgernursery.com.
Got the sale items for sure.
Blood drive coming up on the 2nd of August, I believe, so that's good. But yeah, let's take a quick break. 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up. Live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 in Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
We're back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Boulevardy Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
And welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'll wait till Mark gets back to talk a little bit about the gardening essentials classes. I've got the topics for you. Yeah, it's and I think Mark's first prediction is closer to what's happening in that he said it was going to stop raining around 1, and here at the nursery anyway, and it looks like it's a lighter drizzle, so
yeah, there's more
still
light.
Nice and cool. Oh, and the flag is picking up again. All right, 210-308-8867, and people are coming out. With their big umbrellas.
Where were they hiding?
I don't know. I guess they were just being cautious. But, yep, 210-308, or come on out and we can ask your garden question in person. We'd love to have you out here. And, Mark, okay, so I told them I'd wait till you got back.
Yes.
And the Gardening Essentials class is going to be July 21st. And let's see, Rose M. Flores with the William R. Sinkin Eco Center is going to be the guest. She is the director of the center, it says. And session 1, there are 2 sessions, will be Building Soil in Urban Spaces, Why Grow Food on Urban Land. And 2 will be Examples of Urban Reclamation Gardening for Food Security Across the U.S. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I've known Rose for a long time. She used to be out at the Palo Alto College.
Yeah.
And so that sounds very interesting. She's a very good speaker.
It looks like also gardening, tool sharpening. Bring your tools that need sharpening. Donations for tool sharpening sustain the Dr. Tom Harris Scholarship Fund, which is great. Plant exchange and potluck social. Bring your favorite dish to share and enjoy lunch with the group. So
and
what time is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't give me a time.
In the past, it's been 12.
11:30. Doors open at 11:30. Okay. And how long does it last?
Till 2:33.
Yeah, just tell your boss that you're at an appointment or something. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Milt.
Yeah. You need to have some at night.
It works for both. I talked to Andrew about that.
And what did he say? No,
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said there is some support for a different time.
And he said?
Okay, Mark.
Okay. All right, there is some support.
We used to, on the Master Gardener classes, we tried a few evening classes.
Mm-hmm.
And, they, we would get the attendees, but not nearly as much enthusiasm as the classes during the day, because mostly the folks that were interested were retired or folks that had their own businesses.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say mature individuals.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say.
Yes, but I thought y'all were trying to attract younger individuals as well as mature individuals. Yeah. So anyway, we're not going to go and do this.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to solve that problem today.
No, not today. All right, 210-308-8867. Uh-oh, what does this mean? Al just said he saw a flock of geese heading south. Does that mean anything?
Heading south. Geese south.
Geese heading south.
Maybe they're going to Mitchell Lake.
Could be. That's the cool thing about Mitchell Lake.
Now what are flying quite a few of those tree ducks here in San Antonio.
Yes. But they have decided to stay over the past couple of decades. Those whistling tree ducks. They kind of like it here in San Antonio.
It's always amazing when they come out, like in parks, and even large properties. There's some that'll nest, and then they'll jump out of the trees just like the wood doves used to do up in the north.
All right, so it is July 5th. July 4th just passed. Like you said, oftentimes you'll do holidays for remembering things. What are things people should be doing?
Revamping the garden.
Okay, good topic.
Yeah, it's a nice way of saying that generally we take out the tomatoes.
All right.
And give them a funeral.
But the peppers are still going strong.
Yeah, peppers are still going strong.
Pepper, okra.
The peppers have loved this rain and the heat.
Oh, yes. Eggplant will be loving it as well. That's a nice summer crop. Any kind of peas southern peas that you may have in the garden.
Southern peas.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, I do that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Okra.
Okay. Let's see. These are seeds.
Do you think it's too late to plant new okra?
Boy, we're getting towards that time, but it's gonna produce in 60 days. And so if we get the seed in the ground, that's think about that. That's 1st of September. It'll still be hot by that time. So, but it's getting towards that point.
Now, yeah, okra I think is sensitive to day length.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, there you go. I did forget about that.
So, I need help. I'm seeing a list kind of edible July plantings of like okra, peppers, eggplant, cucumbers. Oh, cucumbers. Huh.
Cucumbers is pretty late.
Is it too late for beans and squash? So I have a weird question on
your spinach.
Malabar spinach.
My Malabar spinach is climbing.
We forgot all about that. Yes.
So this is so great. So I did the hanging basket of the Malabar spinach, right? And it was just going up and up, and I was like, I thought it's supposed to trail, which a caller said he did not have that experience. And it kept on growing, and it has finally found a little thing to attach itself to above it, and it is so happy. Now it's even picked up speed. It's growing even more, it seems like. So, yes, it is now climbing in the little thing it had. So I think next time, I don't know, is there any Malabar spinach out there now?
No, there is none.
Okay. Rats.
Did you? What do you eat it with? Is it just fresh?
I think we just did it in salads and stuff. So I guess I can cut the leaves off now and start eating.
Oh yeah, you can if you got enough growth there. You don't.
Okay.
You want to limit, but you're right. It gets to a point where it is producing a lot of foliage.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't hurt a bit when you get to that point and you start cutting it off and using it.
I wish I'd gotten two now. Oh well. But it's enjoying itself. I can't take it off the basket because it's wound itself all around the metal frame that it's attached to.
Yeah, just
hanging
harvest those leaves.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You know what else is doing well? I guess I carried it through at least part of the summer, is strawberries.
Really?
Yeah, my one strawberry is going crazy. I'll have to take a picture of that, too.
Does it have fruit?
Not that I can see yet.
Oh. Well, I mentioned that that one BHN 968 that we got some seed from one of the listeners and planted it. It took us a while to get the seed to germinate and then mature to the point where it's producing a lot of blooms now and good size. I saw the first piece of fruit on it yesterday. So once that's kind of like Ruby Crush. Once it starts to produce some fruit, it generally goes pretty fast.
Oh, okay.
It's not as early as Ruby Crush, but of course we didn't get it going until late, and then it had to live through that very hot, dry weather
and the big rain and stuff. I mean,
I left mine in the same containers as I do the milkweed, which really don't have any fertilizer, and it's mostly organic material, coarse organic material. So once I switched it to a more realistic soil for tomatoes and gave it some fertilizer, they really took off.
The squash, the Tatuma squash, your neighbor will have to call in. I'm getting all kinds of beautiful blooms, but then the blooms fall and I don't see any squash.
Well, squash are notorious for, and cucumbers and everything are notorious for getting to a point when they convert what the male flowers convert to female. I mean, you start getting some female flowers. So.
Oh, okay. So I probably have all male flowers at this point?
Well, I think there'll be some point where you start getting the fruit developing, and then you'll be overwhelmed. You'll have to
good.
get
I'd
your
like
machete
that.
out.
I'd like that. Yeah, but boy, they're just great plants. Just again from a confidence building.
What kind of flowers do they have?
Pretty yellow.
Big.
Yeah, they're bigger than most.
Are the leaves very large?
Yeah, the leaves are very large. And I haven't checked, but I imagine they're still rooting into the ground.
And it's in full sun, right?
Yes. It's where the other squash was.
Okay.
That actually did
Yeah,
produce.
I would expect it'll.
I can put them in more sun.
Who was it? Oh, it was Bart, my neighbor Bart, that harvested Tatuma and made some wonderful dishes with rice.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Bart, send the recipe to Milton at klup.com.
Yeah.
I'll share it with others if you like. All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Let's see what else is going on. I'm looking for things to do. Anything that we talked about, some seed plantings, or did you want to talk about Calvin's article?
Oh, Calvin's article is a great topic of conversation because he discussed the much dreaded, much evil Bermuda grass.
Oh,
and sedge, two evils.
Not sedge in Bermuda right now. Isn't it ironic that if your Bermuda grass is growing in the right place, it's a beloved lawn grass. If it's not, it's a savage grass. The good news on that is that there's lots of products that you can apply over the top to Bermuda grass and stop it from growing, and eventually it'll kill it. Especially if it's the grass is not too dried out or anything. It's still in an active growing stage. What grass be gone?
Orthoneck and post. Yeah,
Ornamec is the one I generally use. Yeah.
And these are all great products that kill grasses.
And you can spray them in the rose bed and spray them in the shrub border, and they don't hurt a thing. But you do have to you want to get at them as soon as you can, and kind of check on them. What they do not kill the grass immediately, but you should, within a week or 10 days, you should see the growth stop, and then it'll start a slow decline. Another one though. For the second topic in the article, nut sedge control.
Oh, did you bring up your?
That is Sedgehammer. That's the first time I've used Sedgehammer, and it's a strange product. You get a little packet, and the instructions are, it's just a teeny little thing, and you put it in a gallon of water, and then you spray. And it's not really fussy about how big those sedge plants are. I've sprayed it on some that were 18 inches tall in the rose bed, and it didn't state in the instructions that it would not hurt the roses, but couple places in the internet it did say you can use it in the roses, and sure enough, it didn't hurt the roses, but it really striking because that sedge turned bright yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, just real obvious that the sledgehammer is working on it. Now there's another product called Image that can control sedge too, but it is also takes out some of the broadleaf plants, including roses. So you got to be a little more careful with that. I used to use the
You used to use Image.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it works well too, but you do have to be careful with it.
Y'all used to fight between Manage and Image. Is Manage gone?
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
What was well? I wasn't Manage the active ingredient was the same one with Sedgehammer or not?
Well, I don't know.
I sort of remember it. That's the way it was. I think they may have changed it slightly, but Manage went to be Sedgehammer. Because Image hasn't changed, so that was one of the originals.
Yeah. But don't. And if you come to Millburgers and look at the Sedgehammer, don't be turned off because it's a little
package.
Looks like a prescription drug or something there. And then it says,
But
mix it in 1 gallon of water.
Yeah.
Don't store it.
Yeah.
Use it all
Yeah,
up.
I was going to say, use it all up.
It's about $30, so it's not the least expensive, but it's well worth it. It works very well. Trace convinced me to try it, and he was certainly right about it.
That Trace knows his stuff.
And it works very well. And then if you're frustrated, a lot of folks frustrated with nut sedge, and so if you're frustrated with it, go ahead and try that product.
All right, 210-308-8867 is our number. We're going to take a break and come back in a moment. 210-308-8867. More of Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. I was telling you, I don't think you were here yet. I said your prediction about 1 o'clock is a little better than seems to be more accurate about the rain stopping. So, okay, back in a moment with more of Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 210-308-8867. Frank is on the line. Hey, Frank, welcome to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas. How you doing?
Pretty good. And yourself?
Good. What's going on? How can we help you? Frank? Uh-oh.
Frank.
Are you there, Frank? I don't know if we lost Frank or not. Well, Frank, call us back. All right. 210, Al, did we lose Frank? What happened here? 210-308-8867. 210-308-8867. All right, Al's telling me somehow we got disconnected, so Frank, call us back, okay? And we'll figure it out. I think he had a question about, looks like, pecan question. That's a good one. Are pecans, the webworms out?
No, I haven't seen very many webworms this year. Fingers crossed, of course. Usually we see them in middle of May.
Oh, wow.
So we haven't seen them. So hoping. There may be a generation in the fall, a minor one. But generally in Texas, they usually begin in the middle of May.
Okay.
Now, one thing that has happened, we've got pecans have long been a favorite tree of Texans, and the fruit is good and everything, but they didn't fare very well, and they were planted in soils that were not up to par for pecans. Pecans generally, to do well, need deep soils. But then they got beat up, too, by not only the drought, but by the freezes. I finally broke down and got a tree man out there to
Take your pecan down?
No, just to trim them up in the wires.
Oh, okay.
In my front yard, these big branches kept falling down.
I was going to say, that's usually what happens is these large branches die, and where do they fall? They usually fall on the power lines or in your cable TV.
Or on your driveway or when somebody...
Or on the car.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank is back at 210-308-8867. Hey, Frank, sorry we lost you. Don't know what happened, but how can we help you?
Okay, I need your advice. I have a young pecan tree that I didn't have no choice but move it around my property 3 times. And the second spot where I replanted, I had fruit for the first time. Then when I move it the third time, where I think it's going to be there permanent forever, it's been already 3 years, and I have no fruits. I tried to take care of it the best I can, but no fruit. Any advice? What should I do about it?
Yeah, moving it around sets it back. And every time you transplant it sets it back. So, have hope. In the future, you should have fruit. It does take a while. These are teenagers, and they have to become more mature. So,
okay.
What are you doing?
Yes.
I
Emergency.
think it's the EAS.
Emergency alert.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about that in a second.
All right. So anyway, Frank, don't worry too much about it. Hopefully, this third and final place is the best place for it. But Calvin was saying it's touch and go. 90% of the trees that I've worked on were red oaks or pecans. Past 2 years.
All righty. Thank you.
Good
sir.
luck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks for your patience, Frank. Sorry we got kind of messed up. Yeah, the emergency alert, by the way, is the National Weather Service issuing a flash flood warning in effect for this area until 4 p.m. They suggest you do not attempt to travel unless you are fleeing a life-threatening situation. So,
What am I starving for my wonderful barbecue that I got at home?
Oh, okay. What kind of barbecue did you get?
Well, I got one of my neighbors prepared.
You got good
who's
neighbors.
He's famous for his preparation of barbecue, and he brought this big, elaborate lunch for me yesterday, which, of course, will last me about 5 days. But it is it's so nice to have that to think about to go home and eat lunch.
Is it brisket or is it everything?
No, it's a big chicken, a piece of chicken, a big large piece of chicken. Lots of
I'm just laughing because
2 different kinds of sausage.
I'm just like
I'm doing this.
I know you're tormenting me.
Dripping, and my favorite part I think is the ribs. Oh, the ribs are
great
so
if
good.
they're cooked right.
Yeah,
Woo, man, they're
and then of course he's got
We serve both kinds
sauce.
here, pork and beef.
yeah, country and western.
Yeah.
sauce and beans and potato salad. Very good.
Oh, that warms the cockles of my
Yeah.
heart. Good potato salad.
I better have a good route so I can get away from Mark.
I bet he'll bring us some extra stuff tomorrow. Don't you think he will?
Maybe.
That'll be nice.
I was asked what kind of potato salad I like for yesterday. And I went, yes.
Whatever.
I like the kind you're making.
Yeah.
We haven't.
No. I said white or yellow or more vinegar based. I'm like, yeah. Yes.
Well, you know what my mother used to make was a potato salad that had a lot of egg in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's up from the north, Mark, or
Yeah, no, I think you're right. But all different kinds. I think an aunt would do one, and another aunt would do another type, and grandma would do a different type. So
and then they also sit and wait and see if you're going to say which one you like better.
Well, it was more more silent. See which one was going to be used more as you pass through the
line.
line.
If there's stars coming out of your eyes, and they know you were very happy with it. Of course,
generally I chose my grandmother's.
Okay.
It was the safest.
It is. Grandmother's.
It was best tasting, but also politically the safest.
Yes, you took the politically safe option on that one. All right, 210-308-8867. Yes, sir.
Does our friends at Pruski's, they offer some potato salads and things?
Yeah, they have those kind of things as well. Yeah.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Good stuff. Yeah, very, very good stuff. I didn't think to bring some of that. Edmund should come. Edmund, tomorrow, bring us some stuff, will you?
Yeah. Come on by.
Come on by, Edmund. All right. Edmund's listening, going, hey, I'm not going to come by.
He's pretending he didn't know us.
Yeah, who are these guys? All right, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. What else can we bring up as far as gardening in San Antonio? I liked your idea. Did you get to the of things that you should do? You talked about cleaning up tomatoes and other plants. What about other gardening stuff?
So we talked about cleaning up the garden and also what type of summer crops you could be doing. But taking care of that lawn, which Calvin talked about, but I don't know if you had mentioned it, about weekly mowing.
Yes.
Affects or helps keep the weeds in line. And be consistent about that. And I was thinking this morning as I was getting my cereal, and I went, I really should talk about how mow in different directions.
Oh, yeah, you've talked about that before.
And I would say, think of the baseball fields. You've seen the baseball fields. A lot of times they mow in different directions, making patterns. Well, it's also a benefit of keeping weeds in check and encouraging grass.
Yeah.
Grass is encouraged by mowing at its optimum height, and then mowing weekly.
I had a question that was related to that for the gardening Q&A that I do, and the basic question was I have this dream of having a manicured lawn, and I say, well, I hope you know what you're thinking. In here in San Antonio, it's not easy to have a manicured lawn, but you kind of have to duplicate what they do on golf courses, almost. And you got to be prepared. You got to have full sun, and it's got to be Bermuda grass, basically. Full sun, access to water, access to time. Pesticides, fertilizer for sure, and so you gotta be pretty dedicated. By the time you get through that list, or you attempt to go through 1 year, you say, well, maybe I'd be satisfied with a mediocre or a just an attractive lawn rather than a
and I would
lawn.
say maybe you should reduce it to a manageable size and then have that being your perfect lawn.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Now, and then the other, we talk about the basic recommendation I make is 1.5 inches on Bermuda grass. But if you're talking about a manicured situation, you got to talk about 1 inch or less.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's got to be that once a week, at least, mowing.
At least. So weather like we've had in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's going to grow. Right, and you maybe have to mow more than once a week to keep it in balance.
Oh, wow. That's weird in the summer. I'm not used to that.
No, most people are not.
No, not after the summers that we've had.
Well, and then that's you lose one of the advantages to using Bermuda grass and zoysia grass is that they can put up with a going dormant. Mm-hmm. If you're in drought restrictions or you don't want to spend as much money this year as you did on past years on water, you can let them go dormant in the summertime, and they'll generally survive Now, San Augustine is a little more temperamental. Mark and I are involved in research projects that where there, as long as it gets some water every 3 weeks, it'll survive. But that's pretty essential that it gets the 3 weeks. And the lawn does not look great, but it stays alive. And good news is that all of them, once the water gets back, then they come back. They come back and respond and turn green again.
Particularly Bermuda, they will be brown as brown can be, and then they get a little bit of water, and all of a sudden, literally overnight, they turn green.
That's when they not only turn green, they turn charging into your gardens and every place else. The Bermuda grass says if it's got access to water and nutrients and soil, it's going to grow.
So, does saws? You were talking about just kind of maybe you've got patchy stuff or stuff. Does saws have a program? Y'all were kind of talking about it, so I think they do. For you to create more of a hardscape, or
they sure do.
Strongly encourage the permeable hardscape or decks. Included decks a few years ago. As part of your landscape. We usually use the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 lawn, 1/3 beds, and 1/3 permeable hardscape. And so we have programs for those latter two, the permeable hardscape and the beds. Now, a little wrinkle this past year was go ahead and start with the grass removal, but they're not going to supply the coupons for the landscape until September. So that's a great time to start planting your landscape, but you're not going to have to use water over the summer trying to get those established.
We've got one homeowner in Dream Hill Estates that's using that cardboard cover to kill the the grass and everything. And
what does that mean? What is a cardboard cover?
You put the cardboard on there so it doesn't get access to sunlight
and water.
Oh, so it's cardboard's getting
trying
wet
to
today?
kill it, yeah.
But this will mess up when you get regular rains like this. It's kind of, I wonder how it's going to affect that process. But I always, and I know it irritates them when I say, well, it's so much easier to kill it with glyphosate.
Yeah, Calvin and I are the bad boys. And we're going, well, I could just spray that with glyphosate and kill it.
2 weeks, it's done for.
Done for, yeah. 2 applications, 8 days apart, and I'm done.
Okay, yeah.
But they won't give you the $25 for doing that.
Right.
Another thing that Sauce is doing that is pretty interesting, exciting. I went to one of the classes, and I thought it was pretty complex. But based on their report and the experience they're getting, it's encouraging official neighborhood organizations, associations, nonprofits to transport some of those basic saws emails, 3 of them a year, and to their citizens, to their homeowners, and to see how that works. And they report that 100 different neighborhoods
signed up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to the class, and it was
okay.
full.
And I was kind of the naysayer. I went, no, HOAs aren't going to do that. Well, there seems to be a money involved.
$250.
Yeah.
But we even Dream Hill Estates, we're doing it too. Our first one is going on.
Wow.
Yeah, but they.
When's your first one? You'll have to give a report.
Yeah, and so it's kind of an interesting process, and it's consistent with the saws that Mark and I were involved with through the years. Trying different things, including the involvement of leadership in the community and gardeners and especially the gardening volunteers, and so it's kind of interesting. It just amazes me that 100 neighborhoods responded.
That hummingbird is happy.
Well, right now
Did you see him?
a pretty good guess that it's a black-chin.
Oh, okay. He was on.
It
What
looked
was
like
he on?
the male.
Did you see him over there?
He was on the Salvius.
Salvius. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I heard birds chirping. Does that indicate something? If we're
That
they
the
know
rain has probably passed us by now.
okay, because they're coming out. That's good to know. All right, let's take a quick break. While we do, give us a call, 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. More of Milberger's Gardening South Texas coming up live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas. We're live here at Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery, 1604 on Boulevardy Road. We is Mark Peterson and Dr. Calvin Finch, ready to answer your gardening questions. I'm Milton Glueck, and our number is 210-308-8867. What are you spying?
Oh, another cardinal up
Oh, another cardinal up there? Yeah, we got two cardinals. Okay.
Oh.
What?
Oh, is that on the radio?
That's on the radio.
I thought that was its
my
song. Yeah.
turning into my hearing
Yes,
aid.
then everyone gets to hear your hearing aids. It's great. All right. But yeah, so...
I don't know if I enjoy
saw-
the noise more or just irritating Milton more.
No, it's okay. I know that there are people that are driving in their car going, what the heck is that noise? And there are dogs that are going, "Rrr." But anyway, 210-308-8867. I got to use your turning brown method on the my zinnias. They haven't turned brown yet. But
and that's a little bit easier because they will turn brown.
Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just cut them.
Okay, and then do a bag and all.
I do a paper bag. I like paper bags. I just throw them in there, throw a couple in there, and really shake hard.
Okay.
But wait. As
Yes.
Calvin had said, ladies and gentlemen, we exchange emails frequently throughout the week.
Milton keeps sending them questions.
And Calvin mentioned that brown, completely brown.
Yeah. Because I'm ready. It's like you told me.
And he goes, I'm ready. And
I'm like seeing just a little bit of brown going, is that it?
Well,
Maybe
but
that's a brown.
on the zinnias, you will get some germination pretty quick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you want, nearly, if 70 or 80% germination, you're going to wait till they're
Oh, okay.
brown.
Okay. I'll be patient. It's so
I
hard to
know,
do.
Especially if you have a favorite color.
Yeah,
I know,
that's
red ones. Oh.
Oh, my.
and I like
have
that-
seen some really extraordinary red ones this year.
I
don't know
like
what
my
it is.
tall purple ones.
Yeah, that's nice too.
Yeah, it's kind of this really light purple with yellow, I think. And yep, you've converted me. I'm a zinnia person. How long will they last?
Well, it depends on the weather. They've been bothered by this rain. They get some foliage fungus, but they'll keep blooming until the Thanksgiving, until the
good.
winter. But unless they get the fungus, or unless they'll especially keep blooming if you deadhead them. If you remove when they start showing some brown, if you remove the seed. The zinnias.
Oh.
You can actually let those flowers mature, and the seeds will mature too.
They will also be food for certain bird species, and then also drop and have some regeneration.
Okay.
So, a little bit of both.
No,
so you can
be
put them
lazy.
in. You can put them in Mark's sack early if you want. If you want to stimulate the new the blooms.
Okay, and I just won't get as many seeds, or the seeds I get won't germinate quite as quickly.
No,
I would say the latter, but
not
zinnias
much
are a little.
difference.
Yeah, zinnias are kind of unique in that regard. It's not much difference.
They want to grow.
Okay, and so should I plant the seeds for this season? Still? Oh, yeah, you said Thanksgiving, so I have plenty of time.
Yeah. Let's see. What is that?
That's why the deadheading is also always good. You're going to simulate some new growth.
Okay.
And then also you take those deadheads.
So am I literally just cutting right below the bloom? Or
Yep.
down below, like 2 inches, 3
Well,
inches?
if you want it to be attractive,
Oh. Ah.
so you kind of get. I just cut them below the bloom because I'm more interested in the seeds and everything. But you can cut them down there where the foliage.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
where
and
the foliage starts. Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing this. So you go down to where there's usually 2 leaves, and you cut right above that.
Oh, okay.
But then you'll get some new buds right pretty quick
Good. Oh, that'd be fun.
if the foliage is good shape.
So I have a question. How picky do you need to be if I'm going to try to plant the seeds and grow them in little containers to start? How picky, maybe not for zinnias, but for other stuff too, in the soil that you're using? Because I see seed starting soil. I see you got to do this, you got to do that.
Well-
do I need special soil?
I know with zinnias, if
They don't care.
the garden soil, if they're the same soil that they've been growing in, if you
okay.
can get access to that, they really respond. But I think that seed starting soil, you'll get more response
Okay.
than you do on some of the soils we have here that we call.
Just the
Potty
soil.
mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
It
I'll
tends
have
to
it.
be a little richer, and so I would think that
And
the
finer,
mix
yeah.
would be finer and maybe a higher content of perlite or vermiculite or something like that.
Okay.
And they usually don't have much any nutrients in there. And seeds, a lot of seeds start without many nutrients, but
They have stored nutrients in the
Yeah.
seed.
Okay. This will be fun. No, I'm really enjoying the seed and kind of growing the stuff like the whoppers and stuff. That kind of got me forced to do it. And then you go, oh, wait a minute. If I do this, can I do this? Can I start this? Okay. And then all the poor plants in my yard are being cut and propagated.
next he's going to be enrolling at A&M,
Yeah.
getting a degree, a minor in horticulture.
I was waiting for Calvin to say the real school,
Oh, yeah.
but
But
he
it's not.
didn't do that. No.
Yeah, he knows better. The pineapple's doing great.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I don't have a pineapple yet, but it's really happy.
I think when I looked it up and I said like 18 to 24 months,
Yeah.
you kind of went, oh.
Yes, but my lemon is still not doing much, but just sitting there. It's only about 3 inches tall, and
How
it's
much
not-
soil does it have?
It's in a container, and it's pretty deep. I mean, it's
Oh,
maybe 12 to 15 inches deep, and it goes out. like
okay,
that.
that's pretty.
Yeah, what the heck's wrong with that thing? Do I need to fertilize it? Would that
Yeah,
help?
you got any osmocote?
Yeah, I can put some osmocote on there.
Get a little bit of osmocote, maybe, not too much.
Okay, I'll be careful. Cool. Anyway, all right. Enough about Milton's garden. I know I can't cut the lawn today, even if it stops raining.
Doesn't that? Don't you
Well.
hate that?
I was ready, and I cut the front, and then the lawnmower died, so I got to charge the battery again, and then it's just been rainy and drizzly every day since. So it's just getting thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. Yes, sir. What else?
No, I was going to remind everybody because
Yes, that's okay.
this
Jump in.
has come up,
What's that?
and Calvin and I have addressed it. We've had 2 great days of rain.
Yes.
Wonderful for the beds and for the lawns. However,
Oh, I knew there was a however coming.
in container-grown plants,
Oh, yeah. Good point.
the containers have a relatively small diameter. That means they don't catch as much rain, and they should have highly drained soil.
And they have that foliage umbrella.
And then, that as well, the foliage umbrella. So, watch for your containers to go dry. So you may go, it's been raining and raining. Well, the lawn and the beds look good. Remember that the containers may need some water sooner than later.
Okay. Yeah, so Are
I'm
you
going
doing
to throw
are
out
you
there
doing the-
72 hours.
Are you doing the finger test? With
Yes.
To see,
Absolutely.
so you may have water like on the top quarter inch, but not any deeper.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Okay.
That you may have water down below, but not on top.
Oh wow. Huh. What a mess. Okay, yeah, and then I guess it depends on the soil too and how well it's doing.
The size of container is the most important.
Oh,
part.
is that the thing? Okay.
Yeah, you know, one of the plants that we like a lot and we talk about is porterweed, but porterweed takes advantage of whatever container you give them, and
Oh,
they
really?
fill it up with roots and will grow to whatever capacity there is in terms of nutrients. Not too fussy about fertilizer, but not like tomatoes or anything. But but the water, it does it. If you get a lot of water and you got a lot of soil there, they'll really take advantage of it. But then, 2 days after the sun comes out, they've
They
used
tried
it up.
Yeah.
And
No,
it looks, well, I guess they do have broad leaves, but there's kind of relatively small leaves. Always looks a little bit like a succulent to me.
Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly those containers dry out. Even with all the rain, because you're kind of like, oh, okay, this is great. But then all of a sudden,
And we also we always pick the soils so that the water can
Drain through.
which is what it does.
Yeah.
So it's doing what it's supposed to. All right, 210-308-8867. If you had a question, you could sneak it in really quickly. But you got to be quick. 210-308-8867. What else is coming up that you can think of that people should, we mentioned your video.
Yes. I have two videos. Now you put me on the spot. I can't remember the other video.
Let me think.
But
It's
I'll
about
look
old people and their memory.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it is. And plants.
Yeah.
And how everything keeps escaping them over time.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'll look it up tomorrow, and we'll
Okay.
have the tease. What is Mark's other video?
Oh,
It'll be kind of like a Dora.
Do you want me to go to gardeningvolunteers.org?
No. I'll go, and then we'll tease it.
Okay.
If you want to know it, you can go and to Gardening Volunteers of Texas. Oh, I guess we took that off. GardeningVolunteers.org.
Right.
And look at Go Gardening Videos.
Okay. Thanks, Calvin. All right. 210-308-8867. But anyway, okay.
Anyway, we'll tease
So go
that for
there.
tomorrow.
Okay. That'll be for tomorrow. And then Calvin's article, you can do that today.
Oh, yeah.
And
Talk
then-
about Bermuda and sedge, the
So
two
we-
evils of the landscape.
That's
okay. We got a quick one from Daniel at 210-308-8867. What's going on, Daniel? Let's
Hey,
help you
good
real quick.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, quick question. Are there plants that I could grow alongside my tomatoes this fall that would repel any kind of insects?
Any kind of what?
Insects. Pests.
Probably depends.
Well,
I can't think of any. I mean, there's some claims made.
yes, okay. The classic claim is marigolds.
Marigold.
Yeah. Classic claim.
Okay.
What do they repel?
They are a trap for spider mites.
Okay.
So spider mites love marigolds.
Right.
So if they have their choice between tomatoes and marigolds, they'll go to marigolds. However,
Always seems like they take both.
That sounds like a trap.
yeah. So there's also you can look and you just look for companion plants.
Okay.
And there's other companion plants for other vegetables, but that's a classic one for tomatoes.
You know what you can try that a lot of gardeners have had success. Maybe you have tried this, but it's seaweed extract.
No, I have not tried that.
Yeah, and it's a organic, of course, and it cuts down the reproductive capabilities of the spider mites. So you spray it under the foliage and on the foliage once a week, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's great to do in the fall right now
Right.
with the planting,
Right.
and then that usually can keep them at bay to go into the summer. Now what was the other issue was can't. Anything else, Mark, that we should?
No, that's the classic stuff you
right.
talk about.
Hey, do you think we're gonna-
2 tablespoons per gallon of water works pretty well. Oh, it's got it's a good nitrogen fertilizer too,
Yeah.
so that doesn't not wasted at all.
All right, we'll say goodbye for today. See you tomorrow on The Answer.